There's a molecule in your brain right now. It creates a constant hum, planning the next meal, the next snack. 50 million people just shut it off. This is GLP-1. When it reaches your brain, it lights up the reward circuit, hypothalamus, VTA, nucleus accumbens, with a signal these neurons have never seen. Over the next 20 minutes, you'll see where this signal comes from, how it hijacks your hunger, and why some neuroscientists are genuinely concerned. 50 million prescriptions, 3 million monthly searches. GLP-1 is the most talked about molecule in medicine, but almost nobody understands what it does to your brain. Your body makes this molecule after every meal. But the pharmaceutical version turns a 2-minute signal into a week-long grip on your reward circuits. What happens in the next 20 minutes determines whether your relationship with food stays normal or your brain gets rewired to crave less. Most people think GLP-1 just makes you less hungry. What you're about to see goes deeper into why some brains actually stop craving the foods that used to feel impossible to resist. This is your baseline right now. AgRP neurons are firing constantly, sending hunger signals even after you've eaten. Your brain genuinely thinks it's starving. This is after GLP-1. The noise stops. The reward system shifts. This is where things get genuinely concerning, which we'll address head-on. 7 levels. Each one shows you another reason why this molecule is so powerful. Right here is where we start, at the source of the signal. The vagus nerve is your communication highway. But the signal starts lower, in your small intestine, in cells that taste every nutrient that passes through. Level 1 begins right now, your small intestine, where your body reads every single meal, then sends that information straight to your brain. When food hits your intestines, L cells taste it directly, detecting glucose, amino acids, and fats. They're about to send a signal your brain can't ignore. Calcium floods the entire cell. Secretory vesicles packed with GLP-1 rush toward the outer membrane. Then, seconds later, GLP-1 enters your bloodstream. But here's the catch. 85 to 90% of it gets destroyed before reaching circulation. DPP-4 enzymes shred it in under 2 minutes. The GLP-1 that survives reaches your pancreas. When it binds, your pancreas amplifies its insulin response by roughly 2 to 3 times normal levels. The CAMP levels spike inside the cell. PKA and EPAC pathways both activate at once. Insulin vesicles rush to the membrane, releasing everything they've stored. Insulin floods into your bloodstream. At the same time, glucagon shuts down completely. Your blood sugar is controlled without burning a single extra calorie. Around minute 10 of eating, something shifts. The hunger vanishes. That's not psychology, that's GLP-1 talking directly to your brain. Level 1 recap. Your gut reads the nutrition. Your pancreas releases insulin. Your brain gets the signal. Hunger vanishes. That's the system evolution designed. System fires after every meal, your entire life. But pharmaceutical companies discovered something. The signal disappears in 2 minutes. That's the problem. GLP-1 does its job, then vanishes. Hunger returns. Reward circuits reset. Back to baseline until the next meal triggers this cascade again. Semaglutide, a modified version of the natural hormone. One critical change. It resists the enzyme that destroys the natural signal. 7 days, not 2 minutes. Same exact receptor, same lock. But semaglutide doesn't just bind and leave. It sits there, continuously activating, never releasing, for an entire week. Your hunger circuit, which evolved to pulse and reset after meals, is now locked in the off position for 7 straight days. Over 7 days, your pancreas receives a continuous boost signal, not pulsing like normal, constant. Your body does something it never evolved to do. Your stomach receives the same sustained signal, slow down. Gastric emptying drops 30 to 40% and stays there. For 7 days, your brain, reward circuits, hunger circuits, motivation circuits, all receiving a continuous suppressed signal. For an entire week. This is why people call it profound. A voice, a constant hum telling them to eat, to plan, to think about the next meal. Then one morning, silence. The food noise just stopped. Not I'm less hungry, not I eat smaller portions. The noise stopped. Like someone found a switch inside my brain and just turned it off. That phrase, food noise, is about to become the most important words in this video. What's happening in your brain when it stops? That's level 3. Most molecules in your bloodstream can't reach your brain. There's a barrier protecting your neurons. But there's one spot where the wall doesn't exist. The area postrema. It sits outside the blood-brain barrier, a vulnerability. And that's exactly where GLP-1 molecules slip from your bloodstream into your brain. From there, GLP-1 spreads to your hypothalamus, your VTA, and your nucleus accumbens. The brain's entire reward and hunger center falls under its influence. Here's the hypothalamus. These AgRP neurons are screaming hunger around the clock. This is the constant hum, the food noise running in the background of your life. GLP-1 arrives and binds directly to receptors on these hunger neurons. When it binds, it sends a signal. Stop firing. There's no need to eat. The firing stops. The AgRP neurons go quiet. That constant background voice telling you to eat all day turns off. This is the food noise stopping. This is why people keep saying the same thing. I walk past bakeries now without going in. For the first time in my life, food lost its grip. This is dopamine, the motivation chemical. GLP-1 doesn't destroy it. It changes the signal. The anticipatory dopamine, the wanting, goes quiet. That's what stops food noise. But here's what surprises most people. You can still enjoy the meal. The food tastes good. You're just not obsessing about the next meal while eating this one.
And then something unexpected started happening. People on GLP-1 reported they stopped wanting to drink alcohol. Not through willpower, not through therapy, without even trying. Because GLP-1 doesn't just affect hunger neurons, it affects the entire dopamine reward circuit. The mechanism that stops food craving dampens the reward signal for alcohol too. The research is early, this isn't FDA approved for addiction, but the mechanism is real. People report 50% reduction in binge drinking without intending it.
People describe it consistently. I didn't quit drinking, I just stopped wanting it. I picked up hobbies I'd abandoned. I stopped scrolling at night. The neuroscience here is crucial. GLP-1 dampens anticipatory dopamine, the dopamine of wanting something before you have it, but it preserves the dopamine of enjoying it, so you can still enjoy the thing. You just stop obsessing about it, stop chasing it. The wanting goes quiet, the enjoying stays. That's the shift.
And this is where the conversation gets philosophical. If a molecule can quiet the wanting, did the wanting define who you are? Does the drug change you? People look at the data and say, that's not a treatment, that's a personality change. And they're right. GLP-1 changes your relationship with wanting itself. That tension is real and worth sitting with. But before you form an opinion, you need to see what GLP-1 does to your body. The results are undeniable. The results are real. 50 to 100 pounds in 6 months. Average weight loss of 15 to 20% of total body weight. Some people transform completely. Blood pressure drops, A1C improves, cholesterol stabilizes, diabetes resolves. These metabolic improvements aren't just cosmetic. They're measurable, significant health wins across the board. I keep up with my kids now. I don't dread the stairs. I have energy I haven't felt in years. The transformation is real. But here's the catch. The transformation is real, but as weeks pass, something else becomes visible. The speed of the change, the nature of what's being lost, it's not all fat. They lost 30 pounds, but here's what the data shows. 12 of those 30 pounds were muscle, not fat. Lean mass your body needs for strength and function. People report walking upstairs became difficult. They were losing strength they didn't realize they had. This is the part nobody warned them about going in. Here's the statistic nobody wants to hear. 2/3 of the weight comes back within 1 year of stopping. But that's not the real problem. You lost 30 pounds of fat and 12 of muscle. When you stop, the fat comes back. But the 12 pounds of muscle, that stays gone. This is where the subscription truth hits. This isn't a treatment you finish. Stop taking it and your body defaults back, but now with less muscle than before. Ozempic face, the cosmetic consequence nobody expects. Rapid fat loss in the face creates hollowed cheekbones, more visible lines, and sagging skin. It's real. The muscle loss data, 25 to 40% of total weight lost comes from lean mass. You're not just losing fat, you're losing strength and metabolic capacity. And then the other costs surface: nausea, fatigue, joint pain, and something harder to measure: emotional blunting.
people report not feeling things as intensely. Your body has a thermostat for hunger. It's called your set point. GLP-1 doesn't change the thermostat. It overrides it. There's a critical difference. Remove the override, and the thermostat snaps back. Your hunger circuits revert to their baseline. That's not failure. That's your body returning to its programmed set point. This reframing matters. Weight regain after stopping is not personal failure. It's your body doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. The questions people ask online: is it normal that I don't enjoy food anymore? Why do I feel cold all the time? These are real uncertainties. The honest answer is that long-term effects are still being mapped. We're learning what happens at 5 years, 10 years. There are questions without answers yet. That's why the next level exists. If you're going to do this, you need the protocol that actually changes the outcome, not just the risks. There is a protocol. It's not mysterious and it doesn't require special supplements. It requires these: resistance training, protein, and a smart titration strategy. Resistance training signals your muscles to stay and grow. Without that signal, GLP-1 causes indiscriminate loss. With it, you lose mostly fat. Protein preserves lean mass, while GLP-1 suppresses appetite. It's nutritional insurance against muscle loss. The third pillar, titration protocol. Most people race to the highest dose as fast as possible. That's where the worst side effects and muscle loss happen. Fast titration means rapid weight loss, but significant muscle loss and severe side effects. Slow titration means gradual loss, muscle preservation, and manageable side effects. People who follow the slow protocol report better energy, preserved strength, fewer side effects, and less dramatic rebound when they stop. The protocol works with commitment. 50 million people are running this experiment right now. That's the largest real-time biological experiment in human history. And they're all generating data. You are watching from the inside. And if you're considering GLP-1, you become one of those data points. The question that determines your outcome isn't, should I take it? After seeing the mechanism, the reward rewrite, the costs, the protocol, there's one question left. It's the one nobody can answer for you. Is GLP-1 a drug, a treatment, a hijack, or a path to liberation? The answer depends on who you are and how you use it. Someone with obesity and metabolic disease, GLP-1 with the right protocol can be genuinely life-changing. Used as a shortcut without the protocol, it often disappoints. Some people will choose to take it. Some will choose not to. Both are reasonable. The choice should be made with eyes open, knowing all the pieces. When you see this molecule binding now, you understand something you didn't before. This is your hunger, your reward, your motivation being rewired in real time. Know where the signal starts, how it moves through your body, what it changes in your brain, what the costs are, and how to protect against them. GLP-1 is going to reshape how we think about hunger, reward, addiction, and obesity. This is not the end of the conversation. This is the beginning. If someone asks, what does GLP-1 actually do? Here's your answer. It takes a 2-minute hunger signal and locks it on for a week. That change rewires hunger, reward, possibly addiction. But the costs are real. Muscle loss, metabolic adaptation, and a commitment that doesn't end when weight comes off. 3 things separate people who thrive on GLP-1 from those who regret it: resistance training, protein, slow titration. That's the protocol. And there's one piece most people miss. The deepest question is not whether GLP-1 works. The deepest question is, do you want to become the person this molecule makes you? If the drug changes what you want, it changes who you are. That might be liberation, that might be loss. Only you can decide which one it is. Understanding the mechanism, the results, the costs, and the protocol matters. Not to judge your choice, but to make that choice consciously, with full information. Here's the final paradox. Same drug, same dose, same time frame. One person lost weight, the other transformed. The difference is the protocol. Person A took GLP-1, did cardio, ate whatever. Rapid loss, severe muscle wasting, rebound within a year. Person B added resistance training and protein. The protocol is not a secret. It's knowledge. And knowledge separates the people who thrive on this drug from those who regret it.
If you're watching this, you're already part of the conversation. Whether you're considering GLP-1, already taking it, or researching for someone you love. If you're on GLP-1, the comment section is your community. Share what worked, the side effects nobody warned you about. You're documenting the frontier. If you're not on it yet, the choice is yours. Make it with knowledge. Make it knowing what the science says and what the protocol is. Here's what nobody realizes. Scientists who discovered GLP-1 in 1987 had no idea it would touch the brain's reward system. They thought it was only about blood sugar. The addiction angle? That's an accident, possibly the most important accident in modern medicine. 2 major clinical trials on GLP-1 for addiction are running right now. We'll cover those results when they publish. But the question isn't what GLP-1 will do in the future, it's what it's doing to people taking it today. Here's what to do next. Talk to a physician, not an influencer, not an online course, a real medical provider who understands your health history. If you're already on it, assess your protocol right now. Is your protein adequate? Are you doing resistance training? Track body composition, not just weight. Whatever you choose, don't do it alone. Join a community. Stay informed. Be honest about your experience. Choose knowledge over guilt. That molecule binding right now, it's not a miracle. It's not a punishment. It's a tool, and the outcome depends on exactly how you use it. You came here thinking this was about hunger. You're leaving knowing it's about dopamine, set points, muscle loss, addiction, and identity. All connected. That's why this matters. The choice you make with this information will shape your body, your mind, and your life for years. Make it consciously.
There's a reason I went this deep. Superficial GLP-1 coverage is dangerous. Not the molecule, the half-truths, the TikTok summaries that skip the mechanism. If you know someone considering GLP-1, send them this video. Not for views, because they need the mechanism, the thermostat, the muscle loss, the protocol. To stay ahead of the science, this field moves faster than any other in medicine. There's one thing I haven't told you.
The question separating this from every other GLP-1 video, is it ethical to chemically alter what someone wants? Not what they eat, what they want. If GLP-1 can quiet wanting for food, alcohol, compulsive behavior, and research suggests it can, we're not talking about a weight loss drug anymore. We're talking about a molecule that edits desire. Medicine, philosophy, and society will debate this for 50 years. You now understand why. GLP-1 removes one obstacle, the constant hunger signal. But it can't build muscle, fix your sleep, or give you community. Those determine whether weight loss sticks. People who thrive don't just take the drug. They build around it. Resistance training, protein, sleep. The drug is the amplifier, not the solution. That matters. GLP-1 doesn't change your life. You do. The drug just removes one obstacle, the constant hunger signal, so you can build the life you actually want. In the end, you can think of GLP-1 as a mirror. It shows you what hunger is, it shows you what reward is, and it also shows you what remains when the wanting stops. Who you see when that noise stops, that's the real answer you're looking for. Not what the drug does. Who you become when it works. That's why understanding matters. Not to judge or fear, but to choose with eyes open. And there's a GLP-1 question most doctors haven't even considered yet. Thank you for staying through all 7 levels. What happens to GLP-1 users after year 1? Data that nobody is publishing yet? That video is right here. If this is the kind of science you want weekly, no hype, no shortcuts, just mechanism and meaning, subscribe. You'll be first to see that data. This is Healthicore. We bring you the science behind what's changing you, the mechanisms, the data, the truth behind the headlines. See you next week.